Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a somewhat new feature on Gemini called branching. So basically, when you start a chat or a message on Gemini, you can split the conversation into multiple different directions. And this is a simple feature. I mean, this is actually a feature that has existed on ChatGPT and even Google AI Studio, but only somewhat recently we got this new branching feature. I'm going to show you how you can use it and also why I think you need to start using this feature very often. Okay, so first you can open Gemini on your device. I'm using the desktop web version of Gemini, and I think I'm going to open my sidebar and I'll show you the chat history so you can make sense of things. Now, I'm going to ask a simple question to Gemini. What is Gemma 4 with 12B or 12 billion parameters? So that is basically a new AI open source AI model from Google that was released a few days ago. So this is a fresh piece of information. Okay, so I got this message, this answer from AI, from Gemini. Now, you probably won't see the new item or the chat that you just started on Gemini. So I think I'm going to refresh the page because this will help you understand how this thing works or the mechanism behind the branching feature. Okay, there you go. So we got a new section or a new item called Gemma 4 12B. So this is the title for this chat. Now, at the very end of the Gemini's answer, you can click this three-dot icon and then click branch in new chat. Okay. And there you go. So this is the branch. This is the split from the previous original chat. Okay, you can see that there is a name Gemma 4 right here, and then there is also branch of Gemma 4 right here. So thankfully there is actually a label or a name, so you will know exactly which one is the original and which one is the branch of the original chat. Now let's say in the original chat I want to focus more about the architecture behind this model. So I'm going to ask a question like, tell me more about its encoder free design. Okay, so I'll just focus on the technicalities. Now, on the newly created branch, I can focus on something else. So it's not going to affect, it's not going to be in a way that influenced by the other information that might exist in the chat history or in the chat memory. So this is talking about the design, the architecture, but on the new branch, I can just focus more about perhaps comparing that against a different AI model. For example, compare that with or to Gemma, maybe not Gemma, let's try Quen 3.5 with 9 billion parameters. And there you go. So one chat is focused more on the architecture, but the other chat will focus more on the comparison between this model against other similar size AI models. So yeah, if you just look at the answer, you can see that it is not talking about architecture whatsoever, whereas the other chat is just focused on the architecture or the design of the model. So this is actually this is a trivial thing, but it is actually a feature that you need to use very often, because when you are chatting with AI, there is a good chance that the history might affect the next answer from AI. So let's say here, if I'm asking about the design, the architecture, etc., and then suddenly I want to switch the topic to something like comparing the model against a different AI model, then there is a good chance that the info from the previous answers might slip into the new answer with the new topic. So that's when branching the chat makes sense, and I would say quite unnecessary, because you want to get the AI to focus on one particular area. And also not to mention that AI has a limited context window, like after the chat getting very, very long, it might forget a few things. So perhaps it is a good idea to just narrow down the topic or the focus into one of the thing that you want to learn more or delve deeper with AI. Now the question is, what would happen if you delete the original chat? I mean, we have the original chat right here, and then we have the branch. What would happen? Well, if I click this chat, the original chat, I'm going to delete that. click delete, and yet I still have access to the branch version of the chat, and actually it still contains the same message, the original message from the original chat. So it is still there, and in case you want to branch it again, it is also possible. So you can click here and then you can branch that. So essentially you will never lose the original chat. You can always branch a new chat or a branch of the branch chat, if that makes sense. It is also possible. And also another use case where branching chat or splitting chat is actually a good thing is when you are creating media content like audio, image, or video on Gemini. Like for example here, I got a chat where I want to make this picture to look a bit prettier, and then I'm using the Gemini Nano Banana model. So it is a good picture and I think it looks great. But then I can just focus more on this chat to change the design of the dress, and I can just try different prompts, try different designs, and then I can create a new branch where it's going to focus more on the color of the dress. So it is not changing the design, it is just changing the color of the dress that this character is wearing. So that's a one use case, that's a one benefit of using the branching feature on Gemini. So yeah, it is a great feature. I think it's something that you can use more and more often, especially if you want to focus on a specific area on one chat and then another or different area on a different chat. So I think it's a nice feature to have on Gemini. So anyway, that's basically it. That's how you can use the new branch chat feature on Gemini. And if you want to know some use cases or tutorials about AI tools that might benefit your life, then you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on my future videos.